There is a massive spider on the wall behind this camera and I can't stop looking at it, and I don't like spiders, so I'm gonna have to burn my house down after I've done this video. Hello everyone, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm doing something a little different to what I normally do. I'm kind of going back to old school Charlotte Reads things when I didn't really know what I was doing. But this one's different because I was actually tagged in this one and I'm not just pretending that someone tagged me in it. So I was tagged by Bold Book Geek and I want to give him his own little shout out before I get into the questions. He's been following me on social media for a while. He's someone who I've always noticed has interacted with my content, whether just on my social media or whether on my booktube videos. And he's always been really supportive, and it's really nice having that one person that you know is there. So I checked out his stuff very recently and his videos are so good. He's not one of those booktubers who says that everything is great and you're not sure whether you can really trust their reviews. Like, he will do a review of a book and he may really like that book, but he will still talk about the aspects that didn't work or that he didn't like. He talks a lot about the booktube community as a whole and things like that, and I always find his videos really fascinating to watch. Like, it sounds really weird, but the way he speaks just makes you like pay attention, like you can't be doing something else while watching his videos. But anyway, that's my little shout out. Go follow Bold Book Geek. I will leave links to him down below. Gosh, I'm terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Question 1. How old is your channel? My channel is just over a year old. Question 2. What are your favourite videos to make? I really like to do my book to movie talk videos because I am one of those people who, if a film is coming out and I know it's based on a book and I haven't read that book, I will go out, buy the book, read the book, and then go and see the film. Because I always find it really fascinating how someone can take the source material of a book and then put it into a visual on screen, and whether that works or not, and seeing other people's interpretations of things that you've taken from the same book. I also really like doing my vlogs from when I go to book events. I have a few up on my channel right now, and I found out more recently that it's nice to do that, to put out there for other people to see and share those experiences, but it's also kind of like a visual time capsule for me. Question 3. One piece of advice you'd give to someone starting booktube. Don't be afraid to suck, because you're going to. I look back at some of my old videos and they're terrible. My first proper book review I did was for the Scotch Trials by James Dashner, and it was filmed on my BlackBerry and I was literally holding it like this, and the editing is terrible, the lighting is terrible. I was just kind of spinning in a circle in my room while filming this review on my phone. I have filmed countless videos that at the time I really wanted to make but have never made it onto my channel, and I've gotten rid of those videos and they don't exist anymore, but it just works on getting up your confidence and making it feel like you're talking to an actual person and not just a camera stacked on loads of Game of Thrones and How to Train Your Dragon DVDs like my tripod is right now. I'm not even joking, this is my actual tripod. Also, it's an obvious one, but make the content that you want to make. When I started BookTube, after watching BookTube for a while, I based a lot of my content on what other people were making. So I would look at the really popular booktubers and go, okay, well they do wrap-up videos every month, they do hauls when they get a lot of books, they do this, they do that, this is a segment on their channel. And I kind of based the framework for my own channel around what I'd seen other people doing. But after doing that for a while myself, I found out that I don't enjoy wrap-up videos. It made me hate reading because I felt like I had to read a certain amount in order to have a decent amount of books for a wrap-up video. My final piece of advice is don't worry if you can't afford books. Bold Book Geek actually did a video about this recently, talking about the kind of expenses behind BookTube and whether it's kind of elitist in a way. So if you have a library, utilize that library. Since joining, have you run into any unforeseen challenges? I talked about this briefly in the previous question, but motivation. When I started properly committing to my YouTube channel, I aimed to get a video out every single Thursday, and on top of that I was doing my wrap-up videos as well. And it was mainly the wrap-up videos that I struggled with when it came down to sitting down and talking about what books I'd read for that month, especially if they were a lot of books that I hadn't particularly enjoyed or I wasn't that bothered about. I found it very hard to film a video and also be really enthusiastic about those books, so I just stopped doing it. So I might film 3 or 4 videos in one go and then save those now for when it comes to a time when I'm not really bothered about filming or I just don't want to film. At least I have something that I can put up, so it's not been a long period of time since a video has been up on my channel. Question 5. Favourite book or series discovered because of BookTube? This is an interesting one for me because anybody who knows me and follows me on social media and stuff will know that I don't really read YA contemporary a lot anymore. When I first got into reading young adult, contemporary used to be all that I read, but then I read the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and that just kind of opened the floodgates for young adult fantasy for me. A particular book featured on a few people's channels. It was a debut from the author, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli. This actually made it onto my favourite books of the year for 2015. It's an LGBT contemporary about a boy called Simon who is in the process of discovering his sexuality, and he's talking to this other guy online through emails called Blue, and through a series of circumstances a boy at his school ends up finding these emails that Simon has been sending to this other boy and basically threatens to reveal these emails to the entire school and basically out Simon if Simon doesn't do what this boy says, which doesn't sound like a very happy, positive plot for a book, but it's absolutely fantastic and I love it and the characters are so great. Question 6. Favourite aspect of YouTube? Basically, I love finally having an outlet where I can talk to people about books. I did study creative writing at university, so I did know a lot of readers and a lot of writers, but not people who necessarily read the same things that I do or are willing to sit for hours on end talking about books that I've already talked about a million times before. And everyone is so willing to educate and learn from each other, and it's for the most part a really lovely, wonderful environment that everyone comes together and talks to each other. I would miss out on so many really good books and some really good friends that I've come to know that I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for the fact that I started blogging and I started doing BookTube as well. Question 7. Give at least one newbie a shout out. I'm going to give 2 a shout out, and I don't think either of them are particularly new. Both of these I met at a book launch event down in London, and the first one is Zena Haley, and oh my gosh, if you don't watch her videos, you're missing out, because if you want to see someone who is basically what they are like in real life but on camera, you have to watch her videos because she is so funny and she's so bubbly and excitable, and you can't help but feel excited and really happy and in a good mood when watching her videos, because she really is just so energetic and just so herself on camera, which is so nice to see. And she talks about loads of wonderful varieties of books. You honestly can't help but just laugh in her videos because she's just, her personality is just so great, and she always has really amazing things to say about books, and she tends to keep her bloopers in the video as well, which is always nice. It's nice to not have a booktuber that's so serious. And the second person I'm going to talk about is Fairy Drugs, who is doing Diversity Bingo this year, so if you're looking for loads of more diverse reads to add to your TBR, then definitely check out her videos because she's talking a lot about that at the moment. She talks about so many different things, and if you're looking for someone who really likes the Foxhole Court series, then definitely check out her videos because she really likes that series, and I read the first book because she won't stop talking about it. They're so lovely to talk to as well, so I will leave all of their links down below in the description so you can check them out. The final one is spread the love, tag some people. I'm gonna be that person who can't do that because everyone I would tag has already done this. So I guess if you wanna do this, then you're tagged, go do it. So that was a slightly different video from me today, but thanks again to Bald Book Geek for tagging me in this. Ooh, I have actually seen A Monster Calls now, after saying for weeks I was going to see it, so that video will be out soon, I promise. Okay, bye.